Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. Guess what I got in the mail? I got a letter from the IRS that says, and I quote, "You have underpaid your taxes for the year and you're getting an underpayment tax penalty of $120.95. Okay, you guys, I do my own taxes with H&R Block Tax Cut, and I have for several years, so I'm pretty familiar with the program. And every now and then it says, it asks you at the very end if you want to pre-plan for the next year's taxes. Well, I never do. I know with the Tax Cuts and Job Act back in 2018 that the taxation changed a lot, and because they changed and upped the single deduction, most people aren't itemizing anymore. I used to itemize all the time. Now we don't. Anyway, I noticed a dramatic increase in my taxation in 2018 and again last year in 2019. Now, it warned if you got too close that you'd have to pay this tax underpayment penalty. Well, I've never seen it. I've never dealt with it. So I decided I would look it up and see what it says. Here's what Google says. Penalty for underpayment of estimated taxes. Generally, most taxpayers will avoid this penalty if they owe less than $1,000 in tax after subtracting their withholdings and credits, or if they paid at least 90% of the tax for the current year or 100% of the tax shown on the return for the prior year, whichever is smaller. I don't really know what that means, so I went to the IRS page, and it basically says if you didn't pay enough tax throughout the year, either through withholding or by making estimated tax payments, you may have to pay a penalty. Most taxpayers avoid this penalty if they paid at least 90% of the tax for the current year. So I paid my taxes on April 15th this year. I didn't ask for extension, even though we got one with the COVID thing, right? I paid my taxes. $6,700 I paid to the government, okay? But here's the thing. Oh, the IRS actually expanded. The IRS lowered to 80% the threshold required for certain taxpayers to qualify. Let's go down a little further. It says, earlier this year, the IRS lowered the underpayment threshold to 85% and recently lowered it to 80% for the tax year 2018. So they actually took what used to be 90% and they lowered it down to 80%. They didn't tell us this. They tell you that after. Here's the funny part. It says on my paper, the amount due is due by May 25th. I just got it day before yesterday in the mail. Now, I did go on their site and they apologized. They said not to worry about the dates because of the COVID, they didn't get the stuff out, whatever. But anyway, I'm on the hook for $120. So I decided to go do a little bit more investigating because I don't like paying tax. All right? And they even sent me a little sheet that was kind of neat, like the Taxpayer Bill of Rights. I had to make a copy of this because it's ridiculous, you guys. Anyway, how can you avoid an underpayment penalty, you guys? This is something that we wanted to know. So the easiest way is if you know you're going to need more taxes, go to the irs.gov tax withholding calculator. I'm going to put a link in the bottom. I made a video a few months ago about this, and I actually have adjusted my withholdings quite a bit for this year after the taxes from last year. And now that I know I didn't pay enough, obviously, I'm glad I did that. I'll put a link to the IRS tax withholding calculator down in the description, you guys. It's worth checking. It's a little bit of a process. It takes about 10 minutes. You're going to want to have your last pay statement so you can say how much taxes were taken out, as well as that of your spouse if you're married, okay? The other thing you can do is make estimated tax payments. If you know you're going to make enough, you can do quarterly estimated tax payments. Now, I've never had to do that. I just up my withholdings and hopefully I'll be okay. Pretty neat that I get this bill in the mail after the fact. And I've boxed out here, failure to pay proper estimated tax. Not making me very happy. I am going to look into a way to get this abated. I don't know if it'll happen, but I just wanted to let you guys know that it's out there, and apparently they are enforcing it now. I've been My software has told me to be careful because I might be close, but it didn't show that I had it this year, and I ended up getting it. So if you are close or you ended up paying some taxes, you guys, you might really want to revisit how much you're withholding, or if you're paying some estimated tax, making sure that you're paying enough, because they are sending out the penalties. I know, I got mine. All right, guys, hope you got something out of this. If you did, do me a favor, turn that like button blue, give me a like. Let's get this message out to other people. If you're not already subscribed, you guys, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, you get notified every time I make a video. All right, we'll see you.